welcome back to another episode of Vet AF. That's Veteran Air Force Talk. I am your host, Frankie, aka Neezy of the North. I have my co-host here, Steve. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, Steve.
Hey, I'm Steve. I'm a co-host here, so I'll let you introduce our wonderful guest we got today.
Awesome, awesome. But we almost have one more person that we can't miss here. We have the man who's behind the scenes of this whole entire business. We have our man Donnie here. Say hello to the camera for us, Donnie.
How's it going out there, guys? Don't worry about me. I'm just going to be a logo for now.
Usually, that's our typical Donnie. There, he's a man of few words but very powerful ones behind the scenes actions. But before that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have a special guest for you today. Someone who is near and dear to our team out here. She has also been a veteran in the Air Force for quite a minute. I would like to introduce you to our one and only Miss Mary Schroeder.
Hi. Yay.
Yay! How you doing today, Mary?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I mean, the weather's improving. Spring's coming around, you know. So
Yes, I do.
definitely, let's open up. Why don't you first off, tell us a little bit about yourself first, Mary. Let the viewers know who you are.
Okay. So I'm a mother of two crazy boys. I have a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm also a spouse to a veteran as well. He served 20 years, so it was nice that he gets to be Mr. now because he gets to enjoy the fruits of his labor. So he's my Mr. Mom, works from home now. And I have two wonderful French Bulldogs, hence my Frenchy Mama t-shirt, because I those are my dog babies. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty low key, mom life, soccer mom, the whole 9 yards.
Awesome, awesome. And you said you had two French bulldogs?
I sure do.
What are their names?
I've got Archie. He's my cream colored 13-month crazy, no, control. He's Archie. And then I have my little one. She's about 14 weeks. She's newer. Her name's Cookie.
That's adorable. Is Cookies? I'm guessing Cookie is one of your favorite snacks out there, or did you?
Yeah,
just
I do like cookies, but she resembles a cookie. That's why I was like, you know what? I went with my husband's suggestion, and my kids, they were like, she looks like cookie dough. So she's our little cookie.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I do. Man, cookie dough is definitely by far one of my favorite desserts out there too. I'm a pie person as well. We're not gonna get into desserts because we'll talk about desserts all day. Anyways, so I just want to transition it into our main topics of today. We kind of want to talk about your experiences that you've had within the Air Force, kind of get to know you, your origin story pretty much. So first question on top of my head that I can give you is why did you join the Air Force?
Shoot. I joined the Air Force. I think it was an accumulation of just different reasons, but the main reason was my need at the time, which was I needed insurance. I needed a root canal, actually, to be honest, which sounds crazy. And I was working these odd and end jobs I'm from Tampa, so I was working at Busch Gardens of Tampa Bay, doing the rides and stuff. And I was bussing tables when I wasn't doing that. And I didn't have any insurance and it was expensive. So I knew that being able to be in the military would afford me a lot of different opportunities. So that kind of propelled me to kind of aim for that at the time that I did.
All right, so I got to ask, Busch Gardens of Tampa, what was your favorite part about it? I've been there. I loved it.
Free access, you know what I mean? Like getting on, right. Being able to get up ahead of everybody if I wanted to ride the ride. So I actually worked the water ride, the Congo River Rapids at the back of the park. Nice. Hey, everybody out there in Tampa Bay. But I loved it. I mean, I'm from Tampa, I grew up at that park. So, I mean, I loved it.
I loved it when I was there. So can't say much about that one. Sorry to cut you off, Frank.
No, don't worry about it, man. I enjoy your input on here, and I do love me a good Busch Garden, story. So definitely. Okay, I want to bring back to what a little bit you said about so one of the biggest reasons that kind of pushed you to wanting to join was that you needed a root canal. So I want to know so were you able to get that done? Are you saying that the Air Force took care of all of that, paid for all of that through its benefits?
I sure am. I got, I ended up getting half a root canal. That's because of my insurance, and I still needed the other half. So it was terrible. But I ended up getting able to get in the Air Force. And then once I was done, and I was at my first duty location, which was Herbert Field, Florida. Florida was beautiful. They were able to take care of me. I went off base. They fixed it. They, because the Air Force, they don't just work on base, and you don't see those doctors. You get to see local providers as well. So they hooked me up, and I was very, very happy.
That's awesome. I'm glad you were able to get that help that you're looking for. So you mentioned Herbert, Florida. I want to piggyback off that a little bit. Was that one of your favorite bases, or do you have other bases in your mind, or where tell us where exactly you've been before?
I gotcha. So I started out in Florida, and I was 19 years old when I joined the Air Force. Can you imagine? You know what I mean? Like, you're just starting, you're brand new, you're getting this independence, and all of a sudden you're thrown into a beautiful location. You got the beaches, you've got just activities. So I started there, and then I transitioned to Andrews Air Force Base, essentially in near Washington, D.C. So it's in Maryland. And then after that, I relocated to Dallas, Texas, and I was there for a bit. Usually my typical stint at a location was about 3.5 years. And then I ended up in Jersey. And so it was a ride. It was a roller coaster.
Definitely. And did you meet your husband down in Dallas, or was it down in Florida?
So I actually met my husband in Dallas, and he worked at the office essentially next to mine. He's originally from Ghana, West Africa, and so he's a very interesting person. He caught my eye because he was he was good at what he did, and he just, his smile, you know what I mean? It was just kind of instant, like I knew he was a good person. So we dated for a little while and got married and had another child, and boom, here we are today.
That's awesome. And then you also said that he was an Air Force veteran as well, right?
He sure was.
Okay, so you said he was born in Ghana, and then he got his citizenship here in America first.
So he did. So his mother transitioned from Africa, and she moved to the States. And when she got to the States, she remarried to the Schroeder, hence my last name. It's not on here, but it's Schroeder. And so he took that German last name, and they settled in Dallas, and that's kind of how he got his citizenship. So he was a bum though, because he went to college, and then he ended up like couch hopping because college really wasn't for him. To be honest, he was a knucklehead, right? So after he became kind of a bum, that's what I caught up call him. His dad kind of gave a choice, like, get your stuff together, do something. So he joined the Air Force out of Dallas, where I met him.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's
I'm glad
close.
I'm glad it worked out for him though. You know what I mean? Because I myself, like I've mentioned in the last episode as well, that I tried the college route at first too. I was kind of a bum too. So I can't make fun of him like you can.
No.
I definitely tried it out for myself. But okay. So I mean, that's so wonderful and everything, but so I want to talk a little bit more about your job. What has your job or your career been like since you joined the Air Force?
Oh, so I've had a couple different jobs in the Air Force. That's one of the perks, I think. The Air Force doesn't just give you a job, it gives you a career, right? So when I initially came in, I was security forces. Most people know that as military police, law enforcement. And I spent the first assignment when I was in Florida there. So I did both law enforcement and security. I really enjoyed my job. I really loved security forces. Just being able to interact with the people, being able to have something new, you know what I mean, on a daily basis. It was very rewarding, right? It could be challenging at times, but I think that's kind of what makes you so passionate about something. It can't be easy all the time. You have to have that, you know what I mean, those bumps in the road to make you a little better, right? So I loved my cop stint. But when I was there, I got married to my first husband. He was security forces as well, and I got pregnant to have my first son, my oldest, and I needed something a little different. I wanted a little bit of a break from what I was doing. So I put in to actually do recruiting duty. And I did that. They picked me up for it. I went to school. It was a little different. And then I ended up in Maryland, and I was doing recruiting for high school students, college students, you know, the whole 9 yards. I did that for a couple years. And then I transitioned to Dallas, Texas, where I did health professions recruiting, which entails health professions, doctors, nurses, all different MD doctors and DO doctors. So I did that for a couple years. Then I transitioned, and I did training and marketing, which I got to train recruiters. I got to deal with marketing a large area of the Northeast, right? And I really enjoyed that because I was still able to have a little bit of a footprint when it came to dealing with the applicants, which is what I loved the most about being able to help influence somebody to change their life for the better.
Gotcha. No, that's awesome. And I definitely can relate to that. I mean, we all can here because, you know, we're all recruiters in here as well. So I got a tough, fun question for you. So out of all the people that you have trained in your squadron, who is your top 5 recruiters?
Oh, really? So now I have to say all 3 of you, yeah?
Absolutely.
So, you know,
Absolutely.
so Sergeant Freeman, Sergeant Emke, Sergeant, you know, Arnaldo. Actually, everybody's been a pleasure, to be honest with you. And I don't say this just to say it because it's that, oh, I just want to be nice. Even my knucklehead recruiters, which I have a couple of those, I can't tell you who they are, but it's been rewarding because you get to see that everybody's got such depth and different dimensions and layers to their personality. And even though somebody, and they come from all different walks of life, as well as different careers in the Air Force. So I love the challenge that I get with different personalities and for recruiters. Of course, it can be I want to strangle you and shake you at sometimes, but I really enjoy all of you. I mean, I really do. Even the ones that I have to say you're not doing what you're supposed to, I want to kick you in the face. I still enjoy that because it's a different person with a different breadth of experience, and it's so rewarding.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I say the same thing about all the people that I put in the Air Force too. You know, some of them I just want to strangle real quick, but at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of like a parent love when you see them succeed. And it's funny just because just the other day I had an applicant that I also put in as well reach out to me, and you know, he was telling me about all his early successes, going through basic training. You know, he shot expert. He was a dorm leader, everything, and you know, these things kind of just you know, give you that warm fuzzy feelings, even though, you know, sometimes you wanted to strangle them. But at the end of the day, it's definitely one of those loving stresses that they give you. And you know, in this industry, there is always going to be a little bit stress. So I'm just curious, just to get to know you a little bit better, let everyone, you know, feel it out a little more. What kind of things do you do outside of work? Like, what kind of things does Mary enjoy?
So I really enjoy music. I played the violin for a long time. So I love music. I was, you know, solo and ensemble, and I did all that stuff in high school and throughout, and I've played at different places. I love to get outside with my kids. So just before we got on here, I was outside. My husband was cutting the yard, and I was playing with the kids, whether it's soccer, because I am a soccer family. Whether it's running, I really do enjoy to keep my cardio up, even if it's a walk or a jog. I enjoy that kind of stuff. You know, being able to spend time with my family is the most important thing to me, and the thing that I enjoy the most.
And would you say the Air Force kind of allotted you all that time with this schedule? Because you know, a lot of jobs, you know, they expect you to work very long hours and everything. Do you think the Air Force kind of provided that opportunity for you?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the big selling point for me to join the Air Force, because I almost joined the Marine Corps. I'm not gonna lie. I was like Semper Fi, you know, I almost went to the Marine Corps. I did. And I was in Navy ROTC for 4 years when I was in high school. So I had a lot of that too, that influence. And the biggest thing about the Air Force was how we operate and how we treat our people, right? So the Air Force operates kind of like a Fortune 500 company, right? where you're going to get that, the big financial, you know what I mean, that gain and that stability. And then at the same time, you're able to grow and have that family time, which was really important to me. So absolutely, if I've had to rearrange my schedule because my son was sick, I've been able to do it. If I've had to leave early because something happened with, my husband, I've been able to do it. So the Air Force is a big family, and we run it like a big corporation.
Did I cut you off, Steve? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So I just got another question. What's one thing out of your service to your country that you have gotten that you didn't expect to get?
Oh, that's a hard question. There's a lot that, when I came in at 19, I thought, you know what, I'll see what it is. I'll do the 4 years or whatever. And if I don't like it, I could just get out. And I didn't know if I was going to spend 20 years or 15 years or 10 years. I didn't know that. I think that the biggest thing that it gave me is that it afforded me an independence and a way to see the world that I never would have been able to have if I wouldn't have joined the Air Force. The people that I've met, the impact that it's had on my family, the resiliency that I've gained from it. I never would have thought that I would have been able to deploy and go to Afghanistan and see Ireland and go to Romania and vacation in Hawaii. That's not where I come from. I don't come from a place that, we can afford to do those things. I come from just a background. I come from a very poor family. We didn't have a bathroom in my house. I didn't have a bed to sleep on. So being able to have that independence and see that there was so much more to life is what the Air Force gave me.
Absolutely. And I understand that fully. Background to me is I didn't come from a well-off family. And we had to work for everything that we got. And it's the same thing for me. It opened my eyes to everything that's out there that's afforded to us. And it's amazing.
Absolutely.
So what's your end game here? I know it's a huge question because nobody thinks that the end game of whatever we're doing is going to come, but it'll always be there. How long have you been doing this?
So 14 and a half years that I've been able to have the opportunity to serve. My end game is, I've been able to get a master's degree, which I didn't even think that would be possible from where I came from, a bachelor's. And so my end game is to take all the opportunities that the Air Force has afforded me and my family and be able to grow after it, even if I only do 20 years. So right now I might only do 20 years. Maybe I go further. I'm not sure. My end game is to be happy and to be planted somewhere where I can really make a difference, right? With my community. And the biggest thing is my family, right? So my end game right now, as I see it, is to get that 20 years, get closer, right? Almost be able to retire, be able to plant some roots, watch my kids grow. You know what I mean? To be able to get a different career, right? Because I still am very young, and kind of travel the world. I want to be able to still experience life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're all still young here. You're still young in your career, 14 and a half years, that's what, but it's all downhill, getting closer to that 20. Okay. So you said you're out at New Jersey, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what is next? What do you want to do next?
So what I want to do next is what I have to do, which is great, right? How it coincides to what you'd like to do, to what you are going to have to do, right? Right. I'm actually going to be who you had on your show last time you did it, Sergeant George. I'm going to be a flight chief. So I'm going to be running a group of recruiters, right? Who knows where, because I don't know where yet. And I'm going to be able to give my experience to them, watch them grow, see a different part. Hopefully I go somewhere new. It'll be exciting.
Absolutely. And I honestly think you'd be a wonderful flight chief, honestly. Like I said, you trained me myself, and now here I am making it on the big stage here, getting an opportunity to talk to you. What are your top 5 places that you're trying to go?
Ooh, okay. Arizona. All right.
Nice and warm.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Florida would be nice. I'm looking at house prices too, education.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm looking at North Carolina. We do like Oklahoma because my brother's in the Army. He's stationed out in Oklahoma. They're having a baby's coming soon, number 4. So I want to be close to him. And if that all fails, Tennessee would be nice. So those are my top 5.
Okay. I see they're primarily warmer places. I'm guessing you've experienced quite a bit of snow out here in New Jersey, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, that's awesome. So you said your brother's in the Army. Do you have just out of curiosity, do you have a lot of family background in the military?
So I don't, which is weird, right? That we did. My grandmother was in the Marine Corps for a stint, and then she ended up getting pregnant and getting out. But she made it through boot camp with them, and she was somebody that always influenced me. I really looked up to my grandmother. So growing up, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do anyway. And she was that, kind of that precursor to things. So right now, it's just really me and my brother kind of serving.
Okay. But yeah, so you guys kind of had that foundation, though, like you guys had something to look up to, that kind of brought you to that. So back to a little bit more back to your grandma. Do you think she feels so proud of you? How do you think she feels now that you and your brother both serving now? What's the feeling she got out of that? Is she proud?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. So just like I said before, I don't come from a well-off place, just like Steve.
Okay.
And for her to see not be able to make it through school, right? Because most of my family didn't make it through high school. They didn't graduate. They worked, odd and end jobs. They did what they could to put food on the table, right? So just by me being able to do what I do, she would be over the moon.
Absolutely. And I'm guessing she's one of your biggest influencers, from what you were saying. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm sure she's very proud of what you're doing right now, just like the rest of you are. So I just kind of want to talk a little bit more about some of your outside experiences, because we've been talking more about the Air Force all day. What kind of outside experiences has this allotted to you? What kind of benefits that kind of helped you, travel or anything that the Air Force had?
Oh yeah. So we have HOPS, right? Help our people save. Right. You'll hear that if you're talking to recruiters or whoever. But I actually was able to go to Hawaii twice on a space available aircraft. So I had some friends in Hawaii and I wanted to take advantage of it. So I was able to fly across, because I was in Maryland at the time when I did it. And I got a free flight. And then not only that, but being able to stay on base and save money at our lodging facilities, our hotels, right? I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat it. From traveling to seeing different places on my time off, to being able to get my master's degree. Like I said, my education, all of it's been paid for. It's all been paid for, and it's all been on the Air Force's dime. So that's been amazing to me. My children, I just took my oldest to get Invisalign. Very expensive, right? But with the Air Force, right, kind of helping with that, it becomes a lot more affordable. So there's not just one benefit. There's just so many benefits to being in the Air Force.
Absolutely. I want to talk more about Hawaii. Tell me about your experiences in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Not that I'm biased or anything.
So, no, I know you have a special connection with Hawaii, okay, Frank?
Maybe just a bit.
So I swam with turtles, which was amazing. It was they were I mean, you think of these creatures that are prehistoric, right? You're swimming with these turtles. I was in the shark cage, so I went diving with the Galapagos sharks. That's true. I got seasick after I came up, but I was able to get down, finally have the experience. It was like a breathtaking experience. It really was. I went on this really cool yacht sailboat, and they were, little fancy drinks, and it was just gorgeous in the Pacific, right? So, I mean, Hawaii was beautiful.
I'm always glad to hear that, not showing any bias towards Hawaii or anything.
No biased at all.
No, none at all. Steve, you ever been to Hawaii, Steve?
No, I haven't. Actually, no, I have. I flew through there on my way to Guam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you stopped at the airport, or?
Yeah, I stopped at the airport and then kept on going to Guam.
Yeah.
So.
Did you get a lay at least?
No, I did not.
No.
Yeah. No, it was
Mary,
Super Bowl.
were you able to get a mate?
I got a couple.
It was Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair one. That's a fair one. Okay. So would you say, I mean, for both, I guess this is for both of you guys. You guys say you guys have a lot of time off. Do you guys get a lot of vacation from the Air Force?
Oh, absolutely. And even when my husband was still in, I mean,
Hmm.
we went up to Rhode Island. We just took time off. We went up to Rhode Island for our anniversary. I mean, I went to Disneyland the one time before that with the kids. We've been able to take, because you get those 2.5 days a month. I mean, they've added up. I right now have well over 70 days of vacation time. I could take a whole month off if I wanted to. I choose not to because, we're in a busy season right now, but I'm getting ready to, and we're probably going to be going to Ghana, West Africa here. We're planning a trip. So absolutely.
Awesome. And you're planning that trip. Is that like just a vacation wise, or
Absolutely.
you guys got business? Because I know you're always up to business, you and your husband.
Well, I think it could be a little of both. This is true.
Okay.
So my husband's a little entrepreneur. We have, different things going on. That's one of the
Hmm.
perks of being in the Air Force too. You know what I mean? Like you're able to still kind of do things that you really enjoy, right? But it's really more of a vacation trip, but we probably do a little business at the same time. We're looking at different options over there for businesses, but being able to put my feet in the sand and hang out and go in the treetops. They have these crazy just adventures that you can take part of. We really want to do that and see the family.
Yeah, I hear
Sounds
you
awesome.
giving me some homesick vibes talking about the sand and everything like that. I'm sure you're gonna have opportunities to eat out there and everything of the sorts as well. I'm a big foodie myself, so again, you have a very deep repertoire, I guess you could say. I know a fancy word for places you've been, uh, and
Mm.
I'm sure you've got to try out different foods out there. What is the food like at all the places you've been? What are the foods like on Air Force bases? Tell us your experiences, the good, the bad, and the amazing.
Okay. So I go back to, because Frank, me and you are both cops by trade. So
Absolutely.
I
Cool.
remember the dining facility very well, especially when, and I've been, many, many times, but,
Mhm.
we had our lobster days, we had our Taco Tuesdays, we had our Pasta Wednesdays. I mean, even when you're deployed, the food was awesome because Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm not here. They still have Thanksgiving. They have the stuffing. They have all the fixins, right? That's what we call it in the South. All the fixins, and
Mhm.
it's the Air Force takes care of its people. And I remember being in Qatar, for example, and being able to have them make a chicken sandwich and put the different cheese that I wanted on it and the condiments. I mean, it's comparable to any
Mhm.
good restaurant, when you think about it.
Absolutely.
So did you have to pay for any of those?
Nope. So the Air Force, when you're on any type of orders or you're doing training or whatever, all that stuff's covered. They give you like a card or whatever. You know what I mean. It's all included. You're able to get. I forgot about the desserts. They got different lines, right? You
Oh
got
yeah.
the healthy line. I forgot about this.
Right.
The healthy line where they got the salmon and salads and stuff. Then you got the unhealthy line. Don't judge me, burgers and fries and pizza, right? And then you got the dessert right in the middle that's tempting. You got the cakes and the puddings and the cookies. So, I mean, it really gives you a very broad kind of, environment to be able to get whatever you want.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I am a huge foodie, and of course, like myself, I said I am actually, a security forces member myself. But honestly, there's one thing about foods, and I'm sure you can agree with me, and you can kind of tell us more about. There's something about a Thanksgiving dinner, eating it in the back of a truck with your fellow brothers and sisters. Um, and then, actually, Steve, this could apply to you too. You
It,
being
it,
you
it
being a
really
firefighter.
does. I mean, we're not
Yeah,
eating out of the back of a truck. I mean, we're eating
yeah.
it in our station, but I mean, it really does pertain having that brother and sisterhood. Everybody's
Absolutely.
together on those holidays. We're all there at work. We're
Yeah.
all there doing the same thing, and it's that camaraderie that is huge in my life.
No, absolutely, and that's what I mean. There's something special about it. There's something special about being in the military and having this brotherly and sisterly love, eating just even one holiday. Because I get a lot of applicants sometimes where they talk about they don't want to miss the holidays. They're afraid to miss the holidays. But I've also had experiences where I was afraid, but it's one of those things you just have to do it. And that brotherly and sisterly love, eating out of the back of a truck, makes it much, much easier. And I'm sure you guys can name a ton of your friends where, just like you mentioned, you had friends in Hawaii. You could go anywhere in the world, and you've got a place to stay, or you've got a place to eat, or you got someone trying to take you out to dinner or catch up with you, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right, absolutely, yeah, and I'm the same way. Every time I go back to Hawaii, and it's crazy actually too, because some of my applicants that I put in and are in the Air Force are actually stationed out in Hawaii. And now it's like every time they see photos of me in Hawaii, they're like, "Oh, how are you doing? Are you on here? Can I take you out to lunch?" I'm like, "No, sorry, no, but I'm glad you're doing well." You know what I mean? And I myself, like I said, I get to travel quite a bit as well. But yeah, there's definitely brotherly, sisterly love in there. It's definitely different. Um, my first Christmas I spent on a small table in the middle of a little office, a BDOC, or which is our Base Defense Operations Center, where we do dispatching. That was my first Christmas there, away from home. What about you, Mary? What's some of your experiences on your first holiday away from home?
Oh yeah, it was similar. So my first was when I was in Qatar. So I was there, and I remember thinking when it was coming up, leading up, right? So we left in October, maybe it was September. One of the, you know what I mean? You knew it was getting, the fall time, and then you were going to be gone. And I remember them kind of putting out that, hey, the dining facility is going to have turkey and stuffing, and I was surprised that they were actually feeding us that for some reason. I was an airman, you know what I mean? It was my first experience, but I was kind of surprised. And then my leadership, right? So those people that are over you, they actually gave us more time. So I remember I was at a gate, right? They call and I was kind of guarding the flight line, and the colonel that was over me came out, said, "Here's my keys to my truck. Go to the dining facility and get yourself your meal." And I remember switching and being like, "Man, that was really nice." He gave me some extra time. I was able to have that Thanksgiving dinner, which was great. So I did that. And then I remember Christmas as well, where you got the ham. But, you don't have to have ham if you like turkey, or if you like, steaks or whatever you like. They were making sure that they were taking care of us, because it's a hard time to be away. So sometimes it's awesome because it's such a joyous holiday.
Right.
But there is a lot of people that, that find it difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a lot of support from the community for being there as well. And they weren't all military members; they were spouses of certain that are trying to get through the gate. And I actually had this one, some officer's spouse come in, and they hand delivered literally a giant Christmas tree. It was attached to their top of their little SUV, and they dropped off a Christmas tree to the gate. And it was just one of those things you'll never forget, because it's like, people bring you food all the time, but to bring a whole Christmas tree, it was mind blowing here.
Wow.
What about you, Steve? What were some of your experiences for holidays?
Yeah. So my first one was up in Alaska. It was Eielson, right near Fairbanks, Alaska. It was negative 25 outside. It was called get out. But we all came together. We ate turkey, we ate ham, and the mass amount of commanders that would swing by the station to come see us, make sure we were taken care of on that holiday was huge. And then the random people that would just come in, drop off food, and it's truly a community inside of a community. It's crazy about the support that's there, especially around the holidays.
Right, and that's it. Just all of it ties back into the one thing I was saying before, is that it is a scary thought, but everything unknown is always going to be scary. You just got to jump in it, and I promise you, you'll always have that support at the end of it. But yeah, okay. So we're running short of time here. So I got two final questions for you, Mary. First question is, what would you say has been your whole experience tied up into a nutshell for yourself? What would you tell younger you that future you right now would say about the Air Force?
I would say stay the course. I remember basic training, the first night that I got to basic training, and I was like, what the hell did I do? And I was nervous. I was scared. I was tired, right? And I remember thinking, oh my God, I don't know if I want to do this. And I stayed the course because I knew it was something that I really wanted to do. And I knew that it was going to give me opportunities that I wouldn't have without it. So stay the course, be patient. Don't shy away from mistakes, but learn from them.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I 100% agree. I try to tell myself that every day too. Every day I wake up and I'm like, do I really want to do this? I'm like, no, you got to stay the course, right?
Yep.
Okay, Steve, unless you have one more question, I'm gonna throw out one more question there.
You throw it out, man.
Okay, you got it. All right, Mary, here we go. The final question is, all right, so everyone that's viewing, everyone who's going to watch this, for any applicant that's thinking about a join, what is the message that you would like to leave them as well?
Think about where you are now and the goals that you have or aspirations. Because no matter if you decide to go to college or you try to join another branch, I think it's important to get to the root of what do I really want to do with my life? Where am I? What pushes me? And think long and hard, because these are big decisions, right? Whether you're going to college or you're going to join, make sure that you ask yourself, make sure that you do your research. I would say that and I'm going to have to throw this back on us, right? As recruiters, there's so much stuff online that if you research, you're going to hear something. We're just here to confirm or deny what's going on, what's being put out there. We have a great force. So I would say do your research, know what your long-term goals are and your short-term goals, and think long and hard. There's a lot of opportunities.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, straight out of Miss Mary, who's been in for 14 and a half years. Do your guys' research before you even think about any other options. Like I said, as recruiters, we'll definitely do our best to take care of you guys, but there's only so much answers that we can give, and there's only certain time slots we can respond to. But okay, so we're reaching the end of our show. So again, I would like to take the time to everyone who's listening to VetAF. Thank you, Miss Mary Schroeder, for coming down here speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Donnie, my man behind the scenes, thank you for handling that behind there.
You're welcome.
Tune in. Oh, man, there he is, that mysterious voice again.
Santa? Is that Santa?
Is that really you? Did you bring me presents? But other than that, again, yeah, tune in. Look at on our Twitch page as well as our YouTube page. The easiest way to find us is look up VetAF and you'll easily find us. Again, I'm your host, Frankie, aka Neezy the Norse, and you guys have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.